Is this thing on? All right. What's up, y'all? Welcome to my podcast. First ever episode. Not gonna lie, it's my first time doing this, and I do not have a tripod right now, nor do I have a mic. So I have my earbud in just so you can hear me a bit further from the mic or from the camera, but I can't go too far. It would be nice to stand all the way over here, but the audio is not gonna pick up very well. Hopefully I didn't cut off, or cover the mic. Hopefully I didn't cover the mic when I was talking and moving the camera just now. So let's get into it. Okay, so first I started this podcast because I wrote a little list of topics we're gonna talk about on the other side of this page. But I have a list of topics we're gonna talk about. But first, I want to say I very much apologize, guys, for not uploading consistently on my main page. Man, I've been busy. I've been in college, I've been in college getting on my grind for real. But yeah, so I've been in college. One thing, because there's been a lot going on in my life. I've been quite busy. Also, I am recording this outside because I feel like with this podcast, I want to be outside and I want to just connect with nature, be one with nature. And in future episodes, I'll be a little bit more interactive. I will move around more, but for now, I don't have the mic, capacity to be moving 5 feet away from the camera without the mic cutting out or getting lower. So we're gonna have to work with this for this first episode. And this first episode will most likely be a lot shorter than any episode in the future. Also, this is my first time recording just straight up publicly for a podcast. So there are people walking around. Also, that's one thing I like with the nighttime. There's less people walking around, less people looking at me. We're going to get into a lot of topics on this podcast, but let me get back to the main topic. Hold on. And that is, where have I been? And the answer to that is, like I said, college, studying. I've been reading. I've been watching movies. I've been doing a lot with my life. I can't lie. I've been doing a whole lot. I've been very busy. Hold up. Brought my bag too. Also, I got this hoodie on because it's like 50 degrees here. It's 50 degrees in Texas. It's chilly. All right, so so this episode is gonna also be about uncut. So this is gonna be like a one take Drake type of thing. We doing it in one take, no matter how many blunders and stuttering I do. We're gonna just keep it going to keep the podcast natural. Look at a little bugger flying by me. But we're gonna keep the podcast natural. I don't know if the camera caught that or not. I am currently digging in my bag to look for my chapstick. And it'd be great if I could ever find it, And there's an airplane flying in the air. I'm pretty sure it could be heard over this camera. It's really loud. It's really loud. Okay, found it. Let's put all this stuff back. Hold on. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. Let me try to keep you guys entertained. Yeah, we had a little bit of distractions. Now that I got that topic out of the way, just a second. Okay. My lips are still kind of dry. Now that we got this first topic out of the way of where I've been, I want to say, an ant biting me or something. I want to say on this podcast, I want to be very consistent. And I know I say that a lot on my main account, but with this account, it's a podcast. It's a lot easier. There's no editing. It's literally, well, there's going to be a little bit of editing. I'm going to probably make like some kind of intro for this channel. I don't know yet. This is still the first episode and probably an outro. But for the most part, it's minimal, a little bit of editing. All right, we're just going to say that. We're going to say it's going to be a little bit of editing, mainly just the intro and the outro. I'm not going to really cut or anything like that for the main part of the talking of the podcast, because we want to keep it as natural as possible. And yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So even if we get interrupted or something, we're gonna keep it going. I still haven't found an official location where I want to do this podcast. It's another airplane. Hold on. I'm gonna look like a fool if this isn't on camera. But I believe it's being heard on the camera. That's why I stopped talking, because I don't want it to overdo my voice by the airplane. And also because after this episode, or maybe after the second episode, I'm gonna be getting a mic. Like, I used to have one, but it was for an iPhone, and I have a Samsung. Yeah, now I have a Samsung. But I used to have like these mics where you plug one into your phone. You can have one that's wireless, and you talk into it like this, and you know it typically blocks out any background noise, so we won't really have to worry about pausing or anything like that in future episodes. Maybe outside of episode 2. I don't know if I'm gonna have it by then, because I plan on uploading a podcast one day out of the week. And I think I'm gonna pick Tuesdays as my day to upload once a week. Still figuring that out, but I'm probably gonna set it on Tuesdays, I would like to say. So lock that into your calendars, ladies and gentlemen. So, inspirations. What inspires me? Why did I start this podcast? What inspires me to start this podcast? Who inspired me to start this podcast? And to answer that question, I think that one thing that made me want to start this podcast is just the fact that, like, I have a lot to say and just not a lot of people to tell. Right now, I'm in between friendships to describe my social life. I'm in between friendships. You know, I got my core best friends, you know, my ride or dies. But I recently got out of a friends circle, and I'm a freshman at this college that I'm going to. I'm not going to say the college, but at least not for now. And no, this is not the college, guys. No, it's not. It's just a shirt I got from Goodwill, a jacket that I liked. But to continue, what were we talking about? That's gonna happen a lot too. I'm gonna forget some things. Inspirations. Why I started this podcast. So yeah, and I just got out of like a friend circle, so I'm trying to obviously discover my new circle of friends and stuff as I navigate being in college now as a freshman, and I am almost done with my first semester. I've been handling business, handling my classes, and you know, I think I'm starting to gather a few friends. You know, I got a little cool clique. I got like one person I really deeply connect with here at this campus compared to others, but I want to build those stronger bonds within other friends too. But yeah, so back to what I was like, the root of this topic. It's like, this podcast is to like just talk, just yap, just have a little fun. It's gonna be like my video diary to you guys, you know, whoever's watching this. I don't know who. It doesn't, also that's one thing with this podcast, it doesn't matter what the views are or if I'm making money or not. I'm just gonna do this for the passion. It really is just the passion, honestly. Like, that's all this is really for. It's just videoing my thoughts, what I'm going through in life. We're gonna get deep on this channel. We're gonna We're gonna get deep on this channel, and we're gonna talk about deep topics, you know, and all kinds of stuff as I learn more about myself. And hey, and if you're like feeling down in life or whatever, maybe I can, you know, change your outlook or maybe even inspire you, because I'm about to tell y'all somebody who inspired me to even start a podcast. But before I get into that, I'm gonna keep going with why I started this podcast. There's another airplane. I'm looking at it right now. Okay. Like, they can't. Come on, bro. You can't just fly another day. All right. Yeah, so back to the friends. Yeah, so I really started this as like a little outlet just to let out my thoughts and feelings and what's going on in my life. If I'm looking around, it's just because it's nighttime, and you know, I'm not really used to just sitting out here, even though the campus is relatively safe. But you know, I'm still looking around. I'm a very cautious guy, you know. But yeah, so that's one reason, just to, you know, socialize, just to get things, my thoughts off, and I feel like I have a lot to say. Two, because I feel like a podcast would really just be fun to talk about whatever, and I will, well, not a will, because I don't know for sure, but two, I do want to get some friends on here, or just someone on here too, just to, you know, get their perspective on things or whatever the topic is we're talking about this week on the podcast. And we're gonna just, I don't know, you know, diverge and conversate, and you know, maybe change up the dynamic by having a second person here with me. That is something I want to do. I don't know when, so that probably won't happen in the second episode, y'all. But maybe in the future we will get more people on this podcast as a guest. And if you even like them enough, maybe there'll be a secondary host. I don't know. We're laying out a lot of just ideas. We're just brainstorming. We're 12 minutes into this yap fest. I really did not know what to call this podcast, but this podcast name is this thing on was literally just a late night idea, and I thought about it last night. Like, it just came to me last night. Also, guys, today is my birthday, November 11th, because yeah, this video will come out before. Also, the green hands is for candy. This was Fun Dip. All right, so somebody's gonna talk about it, but my birthday is today, and this video is gonna come out before midnight, probably. It's already 8 p.m., so I still gotta process and try to get this uploaded, and yeah, but I'm also uploading this video to my main and to this new account, because the new account is going to be for my podcast only, and the channel name is This Podcast, or Is This Thing On? Is This Thing On is the name of the podcast that I thought about last night at like 2-3 in the morning, as I was just sleeping, and you know, just in deep 3 a.m. type thoughts, you know. I was just thinking about things I want to do, and just things, you know, I feel like would better my life and make me feel better, I guess. And one thing I feel like would make me feel better is just to get off my thoughts, whether they're good thoughts or bad thoughts, I really should say positive thoughts or negative thoughts. I do want to get them off my chest, just so they're off my chest, you know, they're out in the open. And I'm gonna keep you guys updated on my life. Okay, and now the person who inspired me to start a podcast. Oh, got a freaking bug. Okay, the person who inspired me to start a podcast is Jezebel's Absolutely Fried podcast. I don't know if y'all watch her. I don't even know how many people are gonna watch this, because I haven't uploaded in a minute. But if you do watch her, let me know in the comments down below, because I love her podcast. She is so great. Like, she's a very pretty lady, very pretty. I love her videos. I love her topics she talks about, and I feel like she really just inspires me. She's just very fun. She has a very outgoing personality and seems like a very genuine content creator. I also watch her like vlog videos, where she just goes about her life and just vlogs it, like cooking. It could simply be cooking, or her talking about some book or something, or just anything about her life. It's just really fun to diverge, and I feel like it's somebody who's really inspired me to just keep going, I guess. Keep going, and made me want my own podcast, because I was like, yo, like, she's over here, yapping and talking about her life. I want to talk about my life too, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do in this podcast. Put that a little bit more sliding out of my ear. So what do you think? Okay, that distracted me. I lost my track of thought, y'all. Sorry. It's my first episode, man. Inspirations, yeah. So, yeah, she really inspires me. She also has a gaming channel. I watch that here and there, but what really speaks to me is watching her podcast. I just love watching her podcast every Friday, once a week. Every Friday, she's uploading a new video on her main account, and then a video for her podcast account. But that really speaks to me. I just love her advice. I love her what would Jezebel do. I just love it. I'm a big fan. That's my inspiration for this podcast. But let me grab this journal and let me look into what's my next topic. Okay, so we went through why I created this podcast. We're going to talk about birthday. So, I already said my birthday is November 11th, aka today. And if you're wondering how old your boy is, I am 20 years old. I'm becoming Unc. No, I'm not, but I like to call myself Unc, because some people be like, oh, why like, why you call yourself Unc? You only 20. Because it's fun. Because it's unique. Because I like it. I'm an old soul. I like to read. I like to, watch cable TV, and something the kids don't do these days, apparently. But I don't really blame them. But yeah. So I like to be, called Unc. I'm 20 years old. I'm getting old, man. I'm becoming a wise young man. I've been on my lyrical, spiritual type beat. I like to be doing these quote of the days on my Instagram stories. I did get out of habit of it. I got a little off track, because I used to post them daily. And then I just stopped after like the first 2 weeks of college. I stopped. I got inconsistent. The schoolwork caught up with me. All right, I have an excuse. But back to the birthday thing. Yeah, so birthdays. Yeah, so I'm turning 20, and one thing I want to talk about is that, like, with birthdays, I feel like people always ask, like, what are you doing on your birthday? What's your plans for your birthday? What you got going on? And my thing I want to say to that, because this is literally what I did for my birthday. Nothing. Nothing. And that's okay. You don't always have to have something planned. You don't always have to want to do something. If you want to just, kick back and watch movies and read a book like I did, that's all I did today. I went to my 2 college classes. I watched a movie, Thunderbolts. That was a good movie. And then I read some of my book that's really been speaking to me. Speaking of which, on another episode, maybe I'll bring that book and we can talk about that book. I don't have it with me. It's in my dorm. But on another episode, maybe we can talk about that book. That'd be a great topic. The book has really been speaking to me. I'm not even going to say the title of the book, because we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that on another episode. But yeah, so if you just want to lie around, shoot, even go to sleep, take a nap. I took a nap at 3 p.m. today. 3 p.m. Just enjoying my rest, getting my sleep, catching my Z's. And ain't nothing wrong with that. It's your birthday, man. Or girl, whoever's watching this. It's your birthday. Do what you want. If you want to hang out with friends, go hang out with your friends. If you want to hang out with your family, hang out with your family. Now, this weekend, I will be going to get a bite to eat with my friends, because right now I'm at college and I'm not exactly home right now. So, but when I go back home on the weekend, we're going to go out and grab a bite to eat. But the point is, whatever you want to do, don't be ashamed. You know, I feel like some people feel ashamed to. Hold on, there's like a. I'm gonna turn it a little bit more. There we go. I feel like there's a shame, almost like a shame, like feeling around not having plans for your birthday. What? You're not gonna do anything for your birthday? You're not gonna, celebrate? We gotta go out to the club. We gotta turn up. We gotta pop some bop. No, we don't. No, we don't. Not if you don't want to. Live your life how you want to live your life, basically. If you don't want to do that for your birthday, then don't do it for your birthday. And I feel like, especially when you're like a little kid and you don't want to do anything for your birthday, because sometimes I was like that. Like, don't get me wrong, I had my birthday parties and stuff. I have a dude looking at me. But don't get me wrong, I've had like my birthday parties and stuff, but sometimes, I was just like, I don't feel like doing anything this year, just because of the fact, like, I was grateful, like, for everything I already had. I didn't really want a party, I just wanted something more chill, just relax, just laid back. Like, simply as like one year, when I was in middle school, I had a party, but it was at my house, and it was like not anything crazy. It was literally just me and a couple of my friends chilling in the garage. We had a projector. Bro, I keep having something bite me, like right there. But we had like a projector in the garage, projecting on the wall, and we played some video games and just ate food in the garage. And we had a basketball hoop in our driveway, so shoot hoops. It was just simple, it was just casual, and I feel like that's something I feel like we need to bring back. I feel like, I don't know, y'all let me know in the comments. Y'all let me know what y'all typically like to do for your birthday. Do you feel like you have to go all out? Do you feel like you have to do, I guess, more, or make it big? It's the big 16, or it's the big 20, it's the big 21. We gotta go drink. No, we don't. No, we don't. Not to be the bearer of bad news, not to be the sourpuss of the friend group, but no, we don't. You do what you want. Unc's wise words. But all right. Yeah, so that's what I feel about like birthdays and doing what you want to do. Trying to think. Oh, gifts. Let's talk about gifts. I can't with this green finger over there. All because I ate some Fun Dip. Gifts. When it comes to gifts, that's another thing. Sometimes I don't want anything. Like, I'm grateful for everything I have. I'm grateful. Let's turn it back a little bit. I'm grateful for everything I have. Like, sometimes all I want is money, or like just clothes, or something a little more modest, just chill, just laid back type of vibe. I don't always want like something major, or like the next Xbox or the next PlayStation, or a freaking car. Like, you can have a chill, relaxed birthday. Because I feel like because I grew up as a suburb kid. I grew up as a suburb kid with, well off. I was well off, so I feel like in being like well off, you have a lot of things you might have wanted in the past, to the point where it's like you don't know what to wish for, because you already feel like you have everything, because your birthday comes every single year. And after a while, you might just have everything you want, and that's okay. If all you can say is, oh, I just want some money, or even, oh, I don't want anything, that's cool too. I've said that sometimes. Don't be ashamed of it. Don't be ashamed of it, because it does feel weird to not always want something. We got some scooter riders, but yeah, it does feel weird, sometimes saying that, but you don't always have to get something on your birthday. You can just enjoy the birthday. You can just watch movies and celebrate your birthday. You don't have to get gifts. You don't have to, if you don't want any gifts, is what I'm saying, basically. But I don't know. Oh, and one thing I want to speak about with aging is that I want to bring back with the Unk thing, is the fact that, like, I also like being called Unks, because, like, Unk, aka like old people, are very wise. Not everyone, but they're wise. They have stories, they have things to tell, they have a whole life behind them that they could have told you about, and a life ahead of them too. But they have a lot to talk about, and it's very interesting hearing like older people's stories. So that's also why I like to be called like because I do feel like I have a lot of stories to tell, that I want to get off my chest, and I also like give great advice. At least I would say, and I have a couple of friends who would definitely ride and say that too. They'd be like, yeah, like I'm definitely the advice giver slash free therapist. Hit my line for some free therapy, because I'm like a free therapist, but I'm just kind of tooting my own horn. I can't lie. Okay, next topic, because we've been on that last topic for like 8-9 minutes. I don't know. Also, this podcast is, if I haven't said it already, this episode will be shorter than the next episode, because I think that I want to try to get the episodes to 45 to an hour type. But for now, I don't have that many topics to talk about, so it's not going to be that long. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll yap it out. Yap to 45 minutes. I don't know. We'll see. This is the first episode. What we have next? The college life. Parties, events, etc. Let's talk about the college life, ladies and gentlemen. Look, if you're not in college yet, you're a high schooler. If you're a high schooler watching this, middle schooler, whatever, if you're watching those college movies, what's the word? I'm looking for a word. It starts with a P. I just can't find the word. But when it comes to those high school movies, they don't show, or not high school movies, college movies, they don't show what college is really like. And maybe that's obvious to some, but it might not be obvious to others. So I'm just going to say that now. Because, college is cool. College is cool. It's actually really nice to live on my own, live in a dorm. I always wonder what it would be like to live on my own and have like an apartment, and now I'm kind of getting that feeling. I mean, I do have a roommate because we're in like a shared room, but it's cool to be away from family. It is a cool experience. Hold on. Yeah, it is a cool experience though. Having like my own dorm and exploring the campus. It's this great big new world that you gotta explore. I don't know, it's kind of like watching like One Piece. they're learning the Grand Line and the new world and stuff. I don't know how many people are gonna get that reference, knowing I don't know how many people have watched One Piece, but hey, One Piece is a big anime, so if you haven't watched it, go watch it. Shameless One Piece plug. Anyway, yeah, but the college life is really nice. You can explore the campus, and I can't lie, it was really exciting to explore this campus and find everything around campus. Like, we got like a bowling alley and well, of course a movie theater, but a bowling alley and 5 floors on our library. Like, it was cool. It was freaking awesome. Like, it's a giddy type experience. The college experience has been cool, but one thing too, because when you leave high school, your friends will probably go to different colleges. Maybe one will go with you, but let's say they don't, because realistically they probably will go to their own colleges. You will probably go to your dream college or whatever college you want to go to. And if that does happen, I want to say one word to describe this: lonely. It's gonna be lonely, all right? It's gonna be lonely at first, all right? It's gonna be lonely when you go off to college, because you gotta make new friends, and it's a big new world. It's scary. It's nerve-wracking. It's nerve-wracking. It's scary though, and you're gonna be lonely for a little bit, unless you're staying in a dorm and you have a roommate. I mean, it's still gonna be lonely, but you could easily make friends with that roommate first and build from there. Because that's kind of what I did. I just started from the roommate and built from there into my own little niche group of friends. But it's going to be a little bit nerve-wracking and, a little bit lonely at first. And you have to accept that. It's okay. It's okay to be alone. Don't be scared of it. It's okay to be alone. That's one thing I've learned at college. It's okay to be alone, because you're going to find your group. And if you don't find your group at that college, then don't be afraid to transfer, okay? I'm still thinking, like, I found my group. Well, I found my person. I found one friend that I really click with. And then I have a couple of others that I'm talking to that we're cool, but we're like not like deeply cool, like best friend type cool. But I'm still giving it time. It's only my first semester. So going into my second semester, I'm gonna see how many more people I can click with, because I'm gonna have a new schedule next semester. I have a new schedule, all new classes. So who knows who I will meet and who I will become friends with, because this is only half a semester down. Even though I haven't found that group yet, I've only found like a couple, and like one particularly, I think that's how you say it. One person that I really click with, that I can see us being good friends after college. What are we talking about? College. The broad topic is college. So yeah, it's okay to be alone. But moving on to the next topic, we're gonna talk about parties. All right. Anyway, parties. We're gonna talk about parties. Put this back because I don't want the bugs getting at me. But we're gonna talk about parties. So, as a freshman, I can't lie, I was a little bit scared to go to party. You know, I was a little nervous. The boy was a little nervous, you know, going into it, and I avoided parties for quite some time. And I'm gonna tell you what pushed me to finally go to a party, because I wanted to go, but I was scared, and I didn't really have anyone to go with, for the most part at the time. So, Halloween, aka literally like 2 weeks ago, 12 days ago, basically 2 weeks, my therapist, yes, therapist. Do I have that? Yeah, I have therapy on the list. But my therapist pushed me to go to a Halloween party. Well, to a party, not a Halloween party. Because one of the goals was for me, it was just to get out and socialize more and push myself to talk to people and meet new people and stuff. And it's still scary. I still struggle with it. But I went to a Halloween party, and hey, I won $60 from the Halloween, the costume party. They had a costume party. When I walked in, they were like, hey, do you want to be in the costume party? Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, yes, I do. Indeed, I do. Sign me up. Where do I sign? So I got into the party, you know, it was cool. It was jumping, you know. I signed a little paper, you know, and I won $60 for the costume party. Yay, me. But it was fun. And one goal I wanted with this party, too, was to go alone, to push myself out of my comfort zone. Instead of going with a friend, I wanted to go alone, too. It was part of my, like, goal within going out that night, was to push myself to go out alone. And that's exactly what I did. And I'm very proud of myself for that, because I don't know, maybe I wouldn't have gotten the experience I would have got, because I got to meet some really nice people, and they were very cool. And like, I was just really in my head about thinking about what would people think of me when I'm dancing on the dance floor. Do I look stupid? Who cares? Nobody cares, dude. We're here to have fun. Like, don't be in your head. Just don't be in your head. You know, I was just in my head at first, and it was stopping me. You know, I was missing out on a party. You know, I was missing out on getting some party experience. And I definitely do plan on going to another party. I don't know when, but soon. I'm gonna probably go to another party soon enough. I don't know when though. But yeah, that experience was a nice experience. I do want to do more partying. But because at first I used to say I wasn't a party person, but I didn't know that until I went to a party. And maybe I'm in the middle. And if you're not a party person, that's totally fine. Going into college too, just maybe make sure your college you're going to isn't a party school, so you won't feel like pressured to go to a party. You know what I'm saying? But I'm kind of in the middle. You know, I don't know yet. I've only been to one college party. I went to a high school party, but I'm gonna wipe that slate clean. That's a high school party. These are college parties. These are different. So far in my 1 to 0 experience, I would say I'm in the middle. I'm a little balanced. I don't know if I'm a party person. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But I did have fun at the first party I went to. and I do know that, so I do want to at least experience it once or twice more. So I will be going to more parties. Hold up. Events. That's one thing I didn't talk about within the college experience. Events, hump days, hump nights. I don't know if, okay, actually, no, I'm not gonna say that, but yeah, hump days, hump nights. What else? Trying to think of other school events, pep rallies, homecoming, etc., etc. Hump days, hump nights, they're cool. You know, they're kind of what you see on TikTok. So far, they've been pretty cool. But I feel like once you've been to one or even two, you've been to them all. But that doesn't stop me from saying I recommend you going, because they are fun. They're pretty fun, you know. Make sure you go to a hump day and hump night. Although I feel like they're the same. They're literally the same thing. It's just that the hump night is not on campus, one. And two is a little bit more lit. It's at nighttime, fam. Like, we turning up. Like, we in Miami turning up another notch. All right. I'm sorry. I don't even like that song. Don't hate me in the comments. I don't like that song though. I mean, it's catchy, but I don't like it. So, yeah, I definitely recommend everyone go to at least one, for both a hump day and a hump night, because they're a little bit different in experience. But once you do go to one, you go to all. So if you don't go to any more after that, then hey, that's totally cool. And even if you don't go to it at all, that's cool too. But if you do think about going to one, I recommend at least going to one of them. And if you're only going to pick one out of the hump day and the hump night, I recommend the hump night, because it's going to be more lit, it's going to be more fun, and it's going to be more people that go to it. Because sometimes with the hump days, they be in the middle of classes. They have them at 12 or 1 p.m. And some of us have class, bro. I mean, you could skip class, but not everybody's going to do that. So not everybody's going to be there, you know. Pep rallies. Let's talk about pep rallies. So pep rallies have been pretty cool. Honestly, it's pretty much just like a high school pep rally. You know, you got the band, got the football team, the coach would come out, yo, come to our game, blah 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 blah. It's this Saturday at this time. Like, you know the experience of a pep rally if you've been to one. So that's not really something that I would say is a must to go to, but I will say go to it once just to see what your college's pep rally's like. Because me personally, I do enjoy pep rallies. I like pep rallies. They're cool. They're very fun. I always liked it in high school, and I've liked it here so far. I mean, even though the pep rallies are outside and it's straight beaming on us, it'd be hot, man. It'd be hot, but yeah, it'd be freaking hot. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say specifically about college events. So let's move on to the next topic. Therapy. Therapy. All right. Also, and I don't think I will have these videos be so much structured. I don't even think I'm gonna have like a list, because I do want to start live streaming. I might start live streaming these and then posting them to YouTube, kind of like how Jezebel does it. Because with a live chat, I can interact with you guys and see what your input is on certain things I'm saying. Because it's a conversation, we're trying to let it flow naturally. Right now it's structured because I gotta find my audience. So, therapy. Okay, yeah. So therapy. So my school has a health center, you know, and it includes therapy, you know, and like a doctor and all that stuff. And for context, I've never been to therapy at all in my life. Like, I've never been to therapy. I've never experienced therapy. So I honestly didn't know what to expect. But buddy, you're in the shot. Get out of the way. All right. So one thing, you know, with therapy, I've never experienced therapy. I've never been. So my first time going was I didn't really have a specific purpose. Well, technically I did, but at first I was just going to see what it was like. I wanted to experience therapy just to see what it was like. I've only seen therapy on TV shows and how they're You ever just trying to find that word? You just can't find that word. It aches. It hurts. Yeah. So I've only seen therapy shown in TV and how it's practiced or shown in TV. I guess that's the only way I'm gonna put it because I can't say the other word. I don't know how to say the other word, and it's gonna make me stutter. So I went to therapy. My first session, it was pretty good. I think that was the end of September, I would like to say, was my first session. Here comes a golf cart. Oh, wow. Okay, so therapy. Yeah, so my first session went pretty good. I just told the guy, I'm just here, just to see what it's like. I mean, I did bring an actual problem too, because you can't just, I mean, you can go to therapy just for the heck of it, but like, I feel like I needed to come there with some kind of purpose. And I did struggle with one thing, and that one thing was lust. I do struggle with lust, and I still do struggle with lust. I haven't conquered it, but I'm trying. I want to become a better man. I want to conquer it. So that's one thing I went to therapy about. Even when I first went, so I did tell him about that, and we talked about it, blah blah blah, coming up with some like solutions and things to counteract that, and maybe not always think like that, and think about like lust and like things to fix, I guess not fix my brain, is that the way to say it? I guess kind of improve my brain, make my brain a little more healthy. So I went for lust, and what else did I put? I didn't come for anxiety, but one thing in therapy that has shown me is that I do definitely struggle with social anxiety, and that's totally okay. That's totally fine. I always felt like I was an outgoing person in life, but I do feel like 2020 and like COVID definitely messed me up, and definitely messed a lot of people up. It messed up my social skills. And that was in the middle of the end of my 8th grade year, coming to high school. So my freshman year, I was very anxious. I was very scared. I barely talked to anyone. Freshman, sophomore year wasn't my greatest time. Junior year, like 2022, I think that was when I first got my confidence back to start really talking to people, guys, girls, etc. Same thing goes for like my senior year. I got a little bit like even better, I would say. That was 2023, 2024. I got even better with like talking to people and socializing. But I definitely, and I thought I was fully conquered on it, but I feel like all my life I always had a little bit of overthinking and been a little anxious and stuff. And so I want to try to get out of my head and conquer that too, which is also, and it was something I wasn't able to admit. It was something like my therapist had to just kind of say, and they were like, maybe you have anxiety. And like, growing up in a black household, we don't believe in that stuff, and if you're black and watching this video, you might even understand where I'm coming from. That's sad. That's sad to think about that, like, our families are like that, but it's just how it is, and it shouldn't be that way, but it just is. But it's just not something I strictly was raised to believe in, and it wasn't something I thought of when I was having these problems of like talking to people. So it was kind of hard for me to admit. Like, she was like, maybe you have anxiety. Also, forgot to mention that my second session we switched to a female therapist. So for the remainder of my therapy sessions, I have a lady. So even though I did say I have a male therapist, that was just for my first session. After that, I had a lady therapist. But yeah, for my lady therapist, she told me like, maybe you have anxiety, blah blah blah. And at first I was like, I don't know if that's the word. Okay, that was loud. But I didn't know if that was the word. I was like, maybe I don't. No, I didn't say that. But honestly, I was thinking it. And then I was like, she brought up some good points, about the things I was saying. And she looked it up. And showed me on Google. And she was like, you sure? And I was like, Okay, I see your point now. All right, I see your point. You're making a good point. So that's something I kind of just realized at 19. Now I'm 20, but at 19, I'm realizing that I have anxiety, and I have to accept that and just try to prevail and try to not overthink so much. Because I always felt like I've been one to not overthink, but I can't lie. Sometimes I definitely do overthink, especially when, like, one thing I think a lot of us men struggle with is like just like talking to girls. We overthinking it. We doing too much. We getting in our own heads. Oh, maybe she don't mess with me like that. Maybe I shouldn't even go ask her out, etc. etc. But I'm trying to be more of a just do it. Just do it. Do it before you even have time to think about it and to overthink it. Just do it. Just do it. Because you won't have any regrets later on. So just do it. That's all I have to say about that. I'm definitely gonna get therapy back on not on my schedule because it's not a class, but it's just something I do outside of class. But it is definitely something I'm gonna do again because I have to actually like sign up for it again for my second semester. So I'm definitely gonna sign up for it and say yes, I'm coming back. I'm returning. Because it's something I like. I like to get things off my chest and just express myself in that kind of way and be so open with somebody. So yeah, that's all I gotta say about therapy. My last topic was social media, but I don't really know what to say about social media or where I was going when I put social media down. I don't know. Maybe, probably. Oh, it was probably about like lust. Yeah, because I was told my therapist how like something with like lust I struggle with is like opening up Instagram and seeing all these OF girls and stuff like that promoting like porn and sex and all these kind of things. I shouldn't have to be seeing because like you don't even have to follow them. They will just pop up on like your real suggested and all that kind of stuff because it's not something I really necessarily follow or anything, but it's just something that's seen that I shouldn't have to see, that messes me up. It gets me in like my lustful ways, but I'm trying to work on that. I'm trying to be better, and I'm trying to fill that void in my life because one thing I feel like I've been missing is I've been missing something in my life, and I don't know if that's therapy. I've been saying this for a while. I don't know if it's therapy or religion, and I've been trying to dive into religion, and I don't know if it's working right now. I truly don't know if it's working right now, but and that's okay. I can always come back to it. I might not be ready for it right now. Therapy's another thing, and I don't know. I feel like therapy is making me feel good, and so who knows? Maybe therapy was the thing I was missing. As I said before, I've never been to therapy in my life. Look at that. That was bothering me the whole video. But yeah, maybe therapy is something that kind of fills that void. Maybe it was just someone I needed to talk to. But yeah. That's episode 1 of this podcast. Is this thing on, man? Is this thing on? Like, can y'all hear me? Test 1 2, test 1 2. But yeah, that's episode 1 of this podcast. That's all the topics I had, and I guess I was able to yap my way to dang near 50 minutes. So I guess I lied. Maybe I guess I lied. The next episodes will not be so much longer than this one. I thought this one was going to be maybe 15-20 minutes, but I didn't almost turn it to 50 minutes. It's crazy. But yeah, if whenever you're listening to this, if it's morning, if it's night, I hope you have a great night or a lovely morning and have a good day. I will see you guys in the next podcast on Is This Thing On? Peace out.